Hey YouTube, good afternoon. It's a beautiful day here in sunny Southern California. We're in June, which is typically a very gloomy time of year. You get a lot of marine layer is what we call it, coming down in Southern California. But today, and hopefully we can get to see it a little later, it's actually a beautiful sunny day. And my good buddy Jack Atkinson sent me these beautiful spacers for my NSX. And I had a video earlier where I showed us installing these in somebody else's really quickly, and I wasn't very thorough, but I kind of wanted to show you what these things are made out of and whatnot, and how we're going to go about getting it done. So this stuff is called Spaceboard, Skyboard. Oh boy, I think I already forgot what it's called. But anyway, it's just this really highly compressed plastic. It has zero give. You can't even make little, I mean, it's hard to even mar it. And so it's like super compressed stuff. And so he basically made these spacers and drilled holes in them for me. And what the plan is to put these on the driver's side, like that, and these on the passenger side. These go in the rear of the seats. So the seats bolted down with 4 bolts total, and these go in, raised rear too. And if I'm not mistaken, these are 3/4 of an inch, and this is a 1/2 inch. So together, this will give me 1 1/4 inch, and this will give me a 3/4 inch. And he was really nice to supply with me with these bolts as well. So these are these flange bolts. They're M10 1.25 times 50 millimeter bolts. I'll put the little barcode here, so maybe you can pause and scan it if you need to. So they're made in China. Yeah, so he sent me 2 sets, and these should be plenty long enough to go through both. Yeah, so the idea behind these spacers, guys, is, so you're probably wondering why I even want to install these. So the idea behind these spacers is, let me see if I can get a pen. So let's say that the actual body of the car is this, and the seat sits here. Let's see, like so. Okay, and it's bolted down like that, right? So what the problem is, you can only make this go back so far before it hits, right? But if you were to do the same, try to duplicate this drawing, and then increase the height of the rear here, you can see that this angle is going to be a little wider than that angle. Now that may not seem that important to you, and I probably over-exaggerated these angles a little bit to make my point, but the fact is that this angle will be a few degrees wider than this angle here. And why that may not seem very important, those just a few degrees make a huge difference in comfort and longer drives, especially in sportier cars where you've got you don't have a whole lot of room to push this thing back or push that thing back, and you know your pedals are sitting right here, and there's just so much, there's a finite amount of distance here in most 2-seater sport cars that are mid-engine or rear-engine. So in the NSX, being that it's mid-engine, you get a limited amount of room here that they've given you. Now I'm 6 feet tall, and it's probably fine for me, but I've got kind of a bad back, so I like having just a few more degrees of give in the back of the seat here will make a big difference for me. And Jack, who sent me this kit that he fabricated himself, he looks like he's about 6'2", maybe a little taller even. And for him, I can definitely imagine why he needs something like this. So if you need more space in your sports car, just by maybe like an inch or so, this is a really good solution. But what he's also done, which I'm not doing because I don't quite need it, he's also actually, I believe, he's extended the track on his where the seat bolts down. So he can actually bolt the seat down even a little further back. I believe that's how he's done it. So, and he gets maybe another inch of travel that way too, because my seat kind of stops before it gets to the end here. That's another thing he's done. And with the risers and the extended track, he's able to get maybe like another inch here and another inch of recline. So that can make quite a bit of a difference, especially on long drives. And, some of those guys drive quite a few distances in their NSXs, so I don't blame them for wanting to make little mods like that. And I certainly appreciate this kit that he made for me, and he shipped it to me yesterday. I'm very thankful. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I'm going to get these installed. Okay, so I removed the rear and front bolts. So the seat is actually kind of totally loose right now, and the bolts they're pretty short. This is them right here. I've set up the camera so you can kind of see what the rear of the seat rails look like, and all you really have to do is take your spacer, whatever you've made it out of, and then just slide it back in right there. Just gonna wrench down on it. Okay, that's all it really took, and now I'm just gonna go in there with a wrench and make sure it's nice and tight. Yeah, that thing is on there good. All right, just wanted to kind of point out the difference between the driver and the passenger side. See, the passenger side, that's as far back as it will go back and lean back. That's why Jack moved his track further back too. But if you look on the driver's side, I can pretty much stick the seat to the back of the car as far as I want. It'll go back a lot further and it'll lean back a lot further. So on the driver's side, the spacers make a huge difference, in my opinion anyway. So, take it for what it's worth. I think this is a relatively good mod, and it's super cheap, especially if your buddy Jack's willing to make the pieces for you and ship you the bolts that you need. So yeah, I definitely got some room out of this. So let me just show you what I mean. I should have probably done it before, but look at this. I'm sitting and leaning pretty nicely back, and my legs are completely straight. Okay, my thick tree trunk legs are completely straight. Okay, like not bent at all, and I got room to do that, which I didn't before. This is pretty much as good as it would get before if I was leaning back as far as I wanted. So and I got that extra inch, which actually it feels like I got an extra 2 inches here of gain going back. So those are my feet. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Again, on any sports car, you want to gain some more seat back room and get a little bit more comfort for the longer distance drives. I feel like this is a worthwhile mod to make. Have a awesome day.